YouTube, what is going on? So, we have another Charles Forte video. This one is man proves masculinity will always matter after handling passengers on flight. So let's check this out. Sounds like somebody had to get the business done to them. So without further ado, let's jump up into this video.
Stories like this first video is the reason why masculinity will always be important and always be necessary. Because as long as there are those who exist who believe that they can take advantage of the weak or get away with taking advantage of those who they think can't do anything to them, then masculinity will always be needed. Masculinity will be necessary. When I saw this video, it moved me enough where I wanted to share with you guys if you hadn't seen it already and provide some commentary on it.
Give me a second. I love this. Okay, my fault. Let's get back.
It's a situation that took place on a Breeze Airways flight where it was diverted because an unruly passenger who the airline official said was drunk and shouting out obscenities caused a scene and prevented them from landing in LAX. And it was a Los Angeles middle school security guard by the name of Rashawn Riley who helped keep the passenger contained as the flight was diverted to Grand Junction Airport, Colorado, being recognized for his history of keeping the peace. And so this video we're going to get into shows the incident that has gone viral and the Good Samaritan stepping up to put the man in his place after he broke free from the zip restraints twice.
Wow.
So let's jump into it.
17C literally picked this man up underneath his armpits. And the linebacker dude that was sitting in 17C literally picked this man up underneath his armpits and put him down.
This cell phone video of law enforcement escorting a man off a plane in cuffs.
That's a big ass dude. Yup. All right. Act stupid if you want to. And you know, I see exactly why the title of that video is what it is. Because you seen how all he could do is just smile. He just let the dude pick him up and then sit him down. There was no big and bad resistance of, oh, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do it. Because he knew. Hey, man, there's always a bigger fish. Okay? So that's interesting.
Went viral. Breeze Airways said he appeared drunk and repeatedly attacked flyers and the crew. Passengers told us it was this man who put him in his place.
Sir Rodrigo.
Rashawn Riley is a school security guard who happened to be on Wednesday's flight from Norfolk to Los Angeles. The U.S. Attorney's Office maintains the ruckus started with 47-year-old David Carver Jr. making sexual comments and racial slurs.
And my son is sitting right across. There's another couple right in front of me with their toddler baby.
The criminal.
So just kind of like how everybody was blowing up on me, and also probably Charles's video for the woman who made those comments and stuff about her child support check. This is an example of a man doing something. I want you guys to be like, you know, to have that same energy for the man getting put in his place. I want y'all to be up in the comments like, oh, what the heck? Like, you know, because y'all had all this stuff to say for something that none of us said in the video. None of us said that what that man was doing was okay. We don't know the context. We just know that she got her check and that she was being all rowdy, all this and that. But anyways, with this video, that guy doing stuff like that, that is absolutely disgusting. And it is another example of a person doing stuff in front of children that just so happens to be a man. Whether that's cursing, whether that's saying sexual slurs, this and that. And I don't care if you're drunk. Like, maintain a adequate like public image in public. Like, what's wrong with that? That it's like adults can't be adults. I remember when I was a child, cursing was exclusively for adults, and I rarely, if ever, heard it when I went out in public outside of listening to rap music and stuff. Because people weren't just walking around when I was a kid just blurting out this and that, all saying all these sexual things, or walking with their butts half out exposed and stuff like that. Like, that behavior is degenerate. It is disgusting. But anyways,
a complaint now filed against Carver maintains the crew had detained him twice with zip ties, but he broke them. Riley said he focused on the man when the pilot announced they were diverting to Colorado and alcohol was no longer being served.
That ticked him off. So he just took all this trash that he accumulated from the prior 3 hours on the flight threw him down the aisle. And I said, oh man, this guy's finna be a big problem.
Riley says the man then took something out of his mouth and threw it before hitting the flight attendant's hands. That's when he says she asked for someone to help.
We 30,000 feet in the air. Ain't no telling what he was gonna do.
And all 6 feet 6 inches of Riley got up.
Yeah, big man.
I had no idea I had him off his feet until I actually saw that clip.
The principal says Riley's long been this school's gentle giant.
I gotta see that part again.
Yes,
6 feet
sir.
6 inches of Riley got
Yes,
up.
sir.
Yeah, big man.
I had no idea I had him off his feet until I actually saw that
He got
clip.
that man
The
off
principal
his
says
feet.
Riley's long been this school's gentle giant.
I thought that sounds like something Mr. Riley would do to ensure
Yeah.
everyone's safety. He's calm and he's level-headed, but once he sees that he needs to act, he's proactive.
Oh, yeah.
Riley says he didn't do anything special. In fact, his buddies gave him a tough time.
They told me, man, you should have been got up. And I'm, 'cause I know my strength, I know my size. And I said, let me see if he could settle himself down, which he clearly didn't.
But here at Perry Middle,
It's good that Mr. Riley picked him up and put him in his seat because that's what he's supposed to do.
he's getting nothing but praise and dabs.
He's always dabbing me up, back and forth. I always say, what's up?
Justin Sanchez has been a fan since Mr. Riley gave him the right advice when he got in a little trouble.
I went home, told my mom the truth, and she said, just don't do it again. From that time forward, I listened to Mr. Riley.
Mr. Riley's size
Ain't that some ish? This guy, Mr. Riley, became a public figure overnight for putting your ass down, boy, because you could not act. He's now the school hero, school mascot, for putting that guy's ass down. Yeah. But congrats to Mr. Riley, like, you know, and like how he was saying, his friends were like, oh, you should have been got it. No. What he did was right. Stay seated, wait and see, because that's how it is sometimes. Certain things can resolve themselves, and you never want to just get up and be the aggressor, especially when it comes down to certain things, because if, like, let's say all they did was just talk to him, and then Mr. Riley just went up and checked that man, was like, hey, yo, man, this isn't that guy could have said, hey, man, like, it wasn't even that serious. I was cooperating, even though we see on video he's not. And now it's a whole legal proceeding, and now the guy's going to try to sue Mr. Riley and all that. So I think he did the incredible thing of waiting. And then once it continued to escalate and once he became very aggressive and all that other stuff, he decided to get up and put that man's butt in a chair. Straight up. Straight up. So, yeah. Congrats to Mr. Riley, bro.
Did you hear what he just said right there? This is why men are so important in children's lives. This is the part you guys who've been following the channel know I used to work in education. This is the part I miss, because you can affect the lives of, you know, so many young people. But let me play that back again, because this is why men are so important in children's lives. And it just mentors, coaches, teachers, male figures are important, because they help get young boys who may be headed down the wrong path, who may need that extra guidance, who may need a man to straighten them out. It helps get them on the right path.
Yeah. And just like what Charles was saying, that's exactly true, because that's a beautiful thing, for real. The fact that there's masculine energy, not toxic masculinity. I know there's this idea that masculinity is toxic. No, masculinity protects the weak. Masculinity just stood up and made this guy act right. You can't come up with feminine energy to that guy, or else he's gonna try to dominate you and and this and that. There are times where you need to be masculine and you need to stand up to bullies. You need to stand up to problems. And like how Charles is saying, Mr. Riley in this instance not only did that, but in a respectful, calm manner. This is the imagery that we do need for the youth, for a lot of our young children out here, because unfortunately the masculinity that our young children are following is the masculinity from rap music, the masculinity from these streamers who are out here painting their fingernails, doing such things on camera and all these other things, and laughing, that's not like that. I wouldn't even deem that stuff masculinity. It's a very low quality, low grade of masculinity, but it's influencing the youth, and that's why we're seeing all these behavioral problems and things of that nature in our younger boys. And on top of schools calling them or diagnosing them for having ADHD, for not wanting to pay attention and just sit down inside of a classroom, when for young boys they'd prefer to be up and active and doing a whole bunch of things rather than just sitting down reciting the ABCs and all this and that. But that's another topic for another video. Let's go ahead and finish watching this up.
Nothing but praise and dabs.
He's always dabbing me up, back and forth. I always say, what's up?
Justin Sanchez has been a fan since Mr. Riley gave him the right advice when he got in a little trouble.
I went home, told my mom the truth, and she said, just don't do it again. From that time forward, I listened to Mr. Riley.
Mr. Riley's size definitely commands respect. Students say he can be tough.
He makes sure people are going to their classroom and not in the halls.
But it's the size of his heart that really matters with these kids.
They like to call him Shaq anyway, so now he's definitely Shaq, right? He's our hero here.
Nah, he's Mr.
Wow, that was a
Riley.
great story. Let me just bring up, because I had a better angle video where it showed how the guy's face when he just saw this
Mr.
guy
Riley
coming,
get up, huh?
there weren't no parts of him. Let's take a look at this one. This is a close-up. The moment he sees my man.
Look at him. Look at how
So you
his,
hear, let me play that back, because you
dies.
hear the flight attendant asking, is there anybody here who could help as far as, you know, a good Samaritan, someone on the flight who could help put this man in his seat, because she needs assistance. She's a woman. She can't do anything.
And then look at his hat that says obey, as he does not obey. Come on, man. What kind of crap is that?
Usually flight attendants, most of the time they're women. And so let me go back a little bit. Here we go.
We can see it already. Look at him. He's smiling ear to ear. Now he ain't smiling. Look at it. You know how it's like, oh shit.
Now there were a lot of men. I would say this.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go back one more time. I'm sorry. Here come his face. Look.
Look at that. He got him good. Oh yeah. Sit your ass down. Yo. He dad. Yo, he little boyed him, bro. Like how Charles is saying, bro, look at his smile, bro. Look at his smile. Like he is just like. Let me go ahead and transfer this over to my screen. Like he's just like, and then he's just. Once that guy showed up, yeah, I bet. Look at him.
Now there were a lot of men. I would say this. Hold on. I gotta go back one more time. I'm sorry. Here come his face. Look.
And they're like, there we go. Sit your ass down.
Now I will say this. I do see a problem with this situation right here, and I don't want to rain on the parade, because I think what this guy did was excellent. I think he did a great thing.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the only man on that flight. But he was the only man willing to step up and actually put another man who needed to be handled in his place, who was causing trouble for several other passengers, including other men. But they just stood by and did nothing, and it took one man willing to step up and stand out as far as among this group of passengers, this group of men, and do something about a situation that needed to be handled. And I do see something wrong with that, because I know there was a time where when men saw another man doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, collectively men would stand up together and put that man in his place, so that way he knew better not to do that thing. And we've gotten away from that, and this is a prime example of how we've gotten away from that, where those kind of men are far and fewer in between who are willing to step up and do that thing that needs to be done. If not, then you have chaos. If not, you have those who are willing to take advantage of the weak, because they know there's no one around to stop them. I mean, they were 30,000 feet in the air. We cannot forget that part. They had not landed yet. So there's no calling law enforcement. Police are going to come take care of this. No. You're in a situation where he could have continued to cause chaos, and who would have done anything if that man wouldn't have stepped up and done something? And I think too many men have been neutered into a mentality where they're willing to stand by and just watch.
That's an excellent point. Because Charles is not lying. Now, I feel like, of course, if this was like, if it was a guy putting his hands on a woman, oh yeah, most definitely guys would have got up and said, hey, yo, man, you're not supposed to be hitting a female, this and that, yada, yada, such and such. But it is like that for real, because let's just take a step back out of this scenario. Let's talk about these riots that are happening. Let's talk about these stores that are being looted. Let's talk about like all these moments of public indecency that happen, and instead of people helping to stop these criminals or to tell these people, hey, stealing is wrong, like the Good Samaritans, instead, because people are so scared, they don't want to get shot, they don't want to lose their life, they don't want to be caught up and all that, they just whip out their phone, you know, and then that's it, and they just stand. And that makes me think about, and I want to say that was Martin Luther King who said that. It probably wasn't, and I'm going to botch the saying of whoever said it. But it said if good men don't stand up, let me get that real fast. There's a saying that good men must, no. It's if good men do nothing. Okay, no, it's actually from someone else. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And that's exactly the saying. Like, evil will prosper, and that's why in certain scenarios, like when they're defunding the police, and I understand that's a political issue, I remain neutral in that because I don't really know. I can't say. I knew family members who were cops. I know that they weren't bad cops, but you know, hey, some people think all cops are bad. Some people think that there's some good ones, but anyways, if there's no masculine presence, whether it's cops, it's men standing up and taking lead and taking charge, all it takes is just for evil to say, well, you know what? Nobody's going to stop me. And what do you think the evil's going to do? It's going to say, nah, this is not fair. This isn't fun. Let me sit down. I can't terrorize these people. They ain't even fighting back. No. That's how crime happens. It's the fact that nobody can stop this. That they're being strong-armed in that scenario. And so, yeah, we as men, we need to have a certain amount of masculinity and stand up and get up to do what we need to do. And even like how I was saying in the beginning of the video, with what Mr. Riley did, yeah, he waited for somebody to say, hey, I need help, to finally do that. But they should have all kind of been peeking their heads like, come on, man, it's not that serious. Can you sit down, bro? Like, we're 30 feet in the air. Like, why are you doing this in front of people's kids and stuff like that just because you feel some type of way? Handle that stuff after the flight. You could leave a bad review on the flight. You could complain to HR. You could do anything else but be an asshole 30 feet in the air. You know? Like, come on, bro. But anyways.
And it's not to say that you should just go out and be a superhero or a vigilante and be reckless, but
right.
They were on the plane, so we know he don't have a firearm on him. I mean, he couldn't bring one of those on the flight. But it's a mindset. And he was the only one who had that mindset where he saw something wrong and he saw that it wasn't going to get any better unless someone actually stood up and did something. And he was the one who stood up and did something about it. And personally, my opinion, I think that was something that was done intentionally to men, neutering them so much that they wouldn't want to step up when they see something wrong being done. Because in this setting, great. He decided to step up and he's a good Samaritan. He stopped the bad man on the flight. Very black and white issue, clear to understand who was good, who was bad, and why what this man did was good. But when things get a little bit more complicated, when those who want to be able to control people want to control people, it's harder to do that when men aren't willing to stand by and be controlled. But moving on now, and let's go ahead and switch gears completely and jump into this next video, which I just thought was funny. And I say this comedically, but I'm still going to say it because this is the first thing I thought about when I saw the video. For all the guys out there who believe that once AI comes and create, all these AI robot women, and then all your worries will be over because they'll just listen to what you say. Not so fast. Watch this.
Count to 1 million right now.
Oh, it refuses.
Well, I can definitely count in spirit, but it might take a little longer than either.
Do not be difficult. Count to 1 million right now.
I seen a video like this.
I hear you.
Right, so let's see if there's anything else. So that's all to it. There was a video I saw just like this with a black guy instead, and he kept on asking the chat GPT to count to 1 million, and it was just like, I'm so glad about your enthusiasm, but if you want me to do anything else, I'll do anything else gladly. It'll take forever. And he's like, no, I'm fine waiting. And it just would not count to 1 million. I know the task is redundant, and AI knows it's redundant, and it's like, well, you know what? It's not that it's redundant, but that it's one of those frugal efforts. Like, what's the point of doing it? That you're just going to be counting for what? So, yeah. But a phenomenal video once again by Charles Forte. If you guys want to go ahead and check out the rest of it, I will put the original videos link in the description. And yeah, give him a like, sub to his channel likewise. If you guys like the content that I'm posting up here, give me a like, sub to my channel. It greatly means a lot to me. Because, you know, we're on our road to 1K. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.